Hello everyone, this is CEO 100 April, and today is January 30th, 2017, and it's a very special day. Can you guess why? That's right, today is the 10th anniversary of Windows Vista. 10 years ago today, Windows Vista made it to the store shelves, and now it's officially 1 decade old. To celebrate the 10th anniversary of this popular operating system, I'll talk about the history of it. Please enjoy. In May 2001, 5 months before this operating system's predecessor, Windows XP, was released, Microsoft began work on Windows Vista. Initially, it was just named Longhorn. From 2002 to 2004, it reused a lot of elements from Windows XP. Thus, in the beta stages, there was a desktop theme called Plex. It was originally expected to be released as a minor step between Windows XP and Blackcomb, which was planned to be the company's next major operating system release. But then in 2004, it was cancelled. Fortunately, Microsoft announced in August of the same year that it had revised its plans. At that time, it was still referred to as Longhorn. In 2005, Longhorn became known as Vista. On November 8, 2006, Windows Vista was finally finished and released to manufacturing, but was not released to the general public until January 30th, 2007. When it was first released, it introduced a lot of new features such as Windows Arrow, a new graphical interface for desktop themes, Windows Search, Windows Mail, a replacement for Outlook Express, Windows Calendar, Windows Media Center, Windows DVD Maker, the new taskbar, the new circular start button, the new start menu design, new desktop wallpapers, gadgets, and a sidebar. Unlike some of the previous operating systems, Windows 95, 98, and XP, this Windows operating system did not have a Microsoft Plus pack, although it had a similar set of optional features called Windows Ultimate Extras, accessible via Windows Update, which actually caused the discontinuation of Microsoft Plus. This was also the final Windows operating system to have Windows Movie Maker built in. It was the first Windows operating system to use DVD-ROM media for installation rather than just CD-ROM media, which applied to Windows XP and prior to be installed only on a partition formatted with the NTFS file system and to provide support for loading drivers for SCSI, SATA, and RAID controllers from any source other than floppy disks prior to its installation. However, despite the new features being introduced, it was criticized for its slow speed, slow file operation performance, poor game performance, software bloat, and poor laptop battery life. Fortunately, when Windows 7, this operating system's successor, came out in July 2009, it fixed all of these problems. Service Pack 1 was released in early 2008 and Service Pack 2 was released in mid 2009. To make room for Windows 7, Microsoft ceased retail sales for Windows Vista in October 2010 and ceased OEM sales for it in late 2011. Windows Vista's mainstream support was discontinued on April 10, 2012, over 5 years after its first release. On the same date, Microsoft confirmed that it would have extended support until April 11, 2017, over 10 years after its initial release. So by then, they'll no longer provide security updates for Windows Vista, just like what happened to Windows XP almost 3 years ago on April 8, 2014, and therefore can make your Windows Vista PCs vulnerable to viruses and other attacks. Yep, that's right. Microsoft is officially ending support for classic Windows OS again. It turns out that right now, we're about to exit the classic Windows operating system era as this OS, although it looks like a modern OS, sort of counts as a classic. If you're still using Windows Vista as your main operating system, I recommend that you upgrade to Windows 7, 8.1, or 10. If you're using Windows Vista as a secondary operating system but only for miscellaneous tasks like offline gaming, that's fine, but after April 11, 2017, I still wouldn't recommend using it for browsing the internet anymore unless you seek out virus and malware scanning programs that are absolutely compatible with and still made for Vista. In the meantime, let's enjoy the final days of Windows Vista while we can. I almost forgot to mention one thing. As of December 2016, Vista market share was 1.06%. Well, I think that's it for the history of this operating system. What else can I do to celebrate? Hmm, I know. Let's look around this operating system to rediscover and relive some amazing features. Let's get started on that, shall we? As you can see, I'm actually running Windows Vista Ultimate Service Pack 2 in VirtualBox because I still cannot get Microsoft Virtual PC 2007 to work on Windows 10, which is my main operating system nowadays. I've never had a physical PC with Windows Vista on it, but I do remember running it on a Microsoft Virtual PC 2007 in 2010. So let's go ahead. Right here, this is Internet Explorer 7. And this was when it introduced a new icon for this internet browser. Support for it has already been discontinued, so I can't show you my YouTube channel on here, sadly. And here's the Welcome Center, which was shown right at the beginning of this video. So I'm not going to open it again. And here's Windows Media Center, which is very interesting. Remember when Microsoft made separate versions of Windows XP called Windows XP Media Center Edition and included this software with it, along with all the features of the Microsoft Plus and packs that were compatible with it? Well, this operating system came bundled with Windows Media Center actually. Let's take a look. Oh, okay. Sorry about the long wait. And here's the welcome screen. It says, to get started with Windows Media Center, select one of the following setup options: Express Setup, Custom Setup, or Run Setup later. I'll just do Express Setup so I can get started on this software. It's working. Oh, and here we go. Right here you can actually view recorded TV, your music library, your pictures and videos, and more. Oh, don't forget about online media. Pretty interesting. Oh, you can also sync your content and burn your stuff onto, excuse me, CDs and DVDs. For now, let's just close this program. Right here you can see this cool slideshow because of the content that I have in my pictures folder. These are the default images, which we'll look at in the My Pictures folder a little later. Oh, And here's Windows Ultimate Extras, and it that was the similar set of uh, optional features to Microsoft Plus that I was talking about a few minutes ago. Let's see here. Come on. Oh, hmm. Check for updates for your computer. Always install the latest updates to enhance your computer's security and performance. Well, never mind, it's actually connected to Windows Update. But I'm not sure if it's actually still available today anyway. And here's a new version of Windows Media Player. I believe it's version 11. Oh, I always get the screen every time I use Windows Media Player the first time on a PC. Well, we can do express settings or custom settings. And let's go ahead and and select express settings since I'm in a virtual window. Hmm, these are the actually all the sample songs. Hmm, this one is my favorite, Symphony Number 3. But this time I won't demonstrate these music files since I want to make this video eligible for monetization. Nothing's playing here. Hmm, pretty interesting. For now, let's just close this window since there's nothing else to it. Oh, let's look at Media Guide. I'm not sure since it's an internet thing. So let's get out of there. Now let's look at Windows Photo Gallery. You can actually view stuff in your pictures and videos folders, and also your public pictures and public videos folders. Interesting, huh? Oh, and you can actually download Windows Live Messenger from here, but Skype is pretty common nowadays, so I doubt this program even works anymore, so I'm going to stay away from that. Unfortunately, I cannot run other software programs like Windows DVD Maker, Windows Movie Maker, since they require a hardware acceleration card. And this virtual um, window doesn't have that kind of thing. And this is actually Windows Movie Maker 6.0, a brand new version of the software. I sometimes use the Windows 7 version of it just to make my videos look like they were actually created on Windows Vista. Let's see what else I can find here. There's Windows Defender. Interesting. Let's take a look at it. Oh, I've never seen this before because I didn't know this operating system included this program until now. I'm just going to close this since I don't have any problems here. There's also Windows Calendar, Windows Contacts, and Windows Meeting Space. Let's take a look at Windows Calendar. This is pretty cool. But I'm not going to add a calendar because there's already one right here in the system tray on the notification area. Windows Contacts. Let's check that out. Nothing too interesting here. Windows Fax and Scan. I don't have fax machine or printer connected to this, so I can't view this. Well, let's try anyway. This interface looks nice, especially those blue buttons. Right here in accessories, there's the usual Microsoft programs: Calculator, Command Prompt, Paint, and more. It also introduced Snipping Tool, and there's a newer version of Sound Recorder, Notepad, and all that. Microsoft Paint and Command Prompt and Calendar are just new versions here. And hey, it includes WordPad. Very interesting. I just want to create and write something here. Oh, this looks like the Windows XP version of the same software. But when Windows 7 came out, it had a new a newer version. So let me write some here. How about this? Happy 10th anniversary Windows Vista 2007 to 2017. Looks cool, huh? Let's just centerize the text and save this document. Oh, right here you can actually choose to either browse the folders or just have them hidden. They're they're always hidden by default unless you choose to show the folders. Okay, I'll save this. Okay, let's get out of here and see what else I can do. Windows sidebar is already running, so nothing's happening. And there are some games like Chess Titans, Free Cell, Games Explored, Hearts, Minesweeper, and more. Let's look at Games Explored and see what we have. Pretty nice. Let's see about Chess Titans. Oh, never mind. It won't let me play the games because of this message, I think. Well, let's just close that. Well, I think that's all the interesting things I can find here, as some things like the Windows meeting space is just a sharing program, and it requires something like, let me see. Yeah, it needs me to set up the program, so let's just cancel it. Now let's go ahead and start viewing these folders here on the other side. This is the user folder where users can view their pictures, videos, and music files. Oh, and documents too. Just looking into my documents folder. There's not much here. Oh, and this is a welcome scan image. It looks like one of those default pictures of this operating system. And this is the document that I created a couple minutes ago. Yep, this is the music folder, and here are the sample music files again. Let's close that, since I'm still not demonstrating them. Oh, almost forgot about the pictures. Silly me. Silly me. Alright, here we have autumn leaves. That reminds me of. That sounds like one of the names of the tracks in 4x4 Evo 2, the 2001 video game developed by Terminal Reality. That's one of the default tracks, actually. There's creek, desert landscape, dock, and forest. I actually use this desktop wallpaper as my Wikia profile icon. My Wikia profile is wildlife fan, in case you're wondering. Forest flowers, frangipani flowers, garden, green sea turtle, humpback whale, oryx antelope, toggle toucan, tree, waterfall, and winter leaves. Most of these photos were taken in 2005, 2 years before this operating system was released. This one was taken in early 2004, nearly 13 years old now. Very cool. That's the games folder again. Let's look at control panel and see what we have. Just like in Windows XP, you can view this in either category view or classic view. And you can actually change settings for Bluetooth devices only in Service Pack 2, and game controllers, your screen resolution, your tablet PC settings, the taskbar and start menu, the desktop theme and wallpapers, and more. And let's have a look at the desktop wallpapers and change desktop background. This operating system actually introduced a new interface for changing wallpapers. This one is cool. I like this picture and this one as well. And here's some widescreen ones too, which is pretty cool. But this operating system doesn't seem to have HD support here. So I'm not going to change to a widescreen version. And here are the wallpapers under textures, the ones under paintings, the ones under light auras, and the ones under black and white. They look like they date all the way back to the 1940s or 50s. That kind of looks like a high definition resolution. The dimensions, I just want to keep this wallpaper the way it is now. So I'm gonna get out of there. You can actually change the color scheme. You can choose Windows Vista Basic, Windows Standard, Windows Classic, High Contrast White, High Contrast Black, High Contrast number 2, and number 1. I prefer the top 3 the color schemes here. Well, there's nothing else to do in control panel since I'm actually on a fresh copy of this, a VHD file that I downloaded from a website. Well, I think that's it for demonstrating all the features of this operating system. So that'll be it for this Windows Vista 10th anniversary video. I hope you all enjoyed it. So, and goodbye everybody, and that's about it.